You know, every big construction project kicks off with a blueprint, right? It's this promise of an amazing, efficient, reliable building. But what happens when that finished building just doesn't live up to the design? It's a huge headache in the industry, and it creates this really costly gap between the vision on paper and the reality on the ground.
And that leads to the big question. Why does this happen so often? Why do so many buildings fail to perform the way they were designed to? It's the kind of question that keeps owners and developers up at night. Why are the energy bills through the roof? Why aren't these systems working together? We're going to dive into that exact problem and talk about a solution that's been proven over decades.
So let's talk about this gap between the design and what actually happens in reality. This isn't just a small issue. It has some serious financial and operational consequences. It's what the industry calls the performance gap.
On one hand, the design is promising all these great things: low operating costs, super reliable systems, everything up to code. But then, the reality hits, and it looks more like sky-high energy bills, expensive rework, project delays, and just a whole mess of problems you didn't see coming. This is exactly where projects start to bleed money and efficiency.
Okay, so how do you actually fix this? How do you bridge that gap? Well, it really starts with bringing in engineers who have real, proven, hands-on experience out in the field. A team that gets how a design on a computer screen actually translates to a real-world job site. And that's where a team like Prasino Engineering comes in. And listen, they are not new to this game. We're talking more than 45 years of deep industry experience, solving these exact kinds of real-world problems. And this right here, this is their whole mission, stated loud and clear. Their job isn't just to give advice, it's to actively get in there and close that performance gap to make absolutely sure a building works exactly the way it was supposed to.
So, what's the secret sauce? Well, a huge part of it is getting in on the project early. Their entire approach is built around being proactive, and that focuses on two key services that stop problems before they can even get started. First up is something called energy modeling. And the best way to think about this? It's like creating a super accurate digital twin of the building before a single brick is laid. This lets owners see exactly how a certain choice in HVAC or insulation is going to affect their energy costs down the line. It totally replaces guesswork with solid, data-driven confidence. Then there's the other side of the coin, proactive code consulting. They jump in with an early design review to catch any compliance issues right away. And that's huge because it prevents those incredibly expensive redesigns later. It saves time, it saves money, and it just keeps the whole project on track.
All right, so you've made all these great decisions up front, but how do you guarantee that everything's actually installed right and all the systems are talking to each other the way they should? Well, that brings us to the core service that makes performance predictable: commissioning.
This is where commissioning comes in, and honestly, this is the real bridge between the design and the final working building. It's not just a quick walkthrough at the end. Oh no, it's a tough, structured, and fully documented process of testing and verifying that every single system in that building is operating exactly as intended.
And when we say they check everything, we mean everything. They are verifying all the critical components: your mechanical systems like heating and cooling, the entire electrical backbone, the absolutely essential life safety systems. They even verify the building envelope itself to make sure it's sealed tight. Nothing gets overlooked.
So what's the end result of all this meticulous work? Well, it's pretty simple, and it hits right on the bottom line. You get less rework, which saves a ton of money. You get lower operating costs for years to come. And most importantly, you get a building that just works the way it's supposed to, right from day one.
Okay, so all these services, all this detail-oriented work, it's all powered by a really clear mission that defines everything Prasino Engineering does.
And this quote, this really says it all. I want you to focus on that word, measurable. This isn't about feelings or abstract ideas. It's about delivering real, quantifiable value you can see, whether that's in your energy savings or just the reliable performance of your building day in and day out. So how do they deliver on that promise of measurable value? Well, it all stands on these three pillars. Their work is high quality and technically sophisticated. I mean, that's what over 45 years of experience gets you. And this last one is so important. It's unbiased. They're your trusted, impartial expert whose only goal is making your project a success.
So when you put it all together, what does it really mean for you and your project? It boils down to this really simple but incredibly powerful promise. It's about taking all the guesswork and the risk out of these complex projects and replacing it with the rock-solid confidence of a performance guarantee.
So if making sure your next building performs exactly the way it was designed to is a top priority for you, here's how you can get in touch with their team for some expert guidance. Thanks so much for watching.